Hey guys, this is Taters coming in with another League of Legends video. This one is going to be on Lucian. He's a very strong AD carry pick in the current meta. He's very mobile, has a lot of damage, used a lot, picked a lot. So first I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a rundown on his skills, and then I'll give you a little bit of a rundown on item builds, runes, and masteries. So, where is he here? Got Lucian. So he's got a few skins. Striker Lucian, hired gun, his normal skin. If we go over his abilities here, his light slinger passive is whenever he uses an ability, he shoots off 2 shots. You can see this here. See, he shoots off 2 shots. Piercing light is he shoots a bolt of light through targets, and it does the same damage to all targets that it hits. You have to aim it onto a minion or an enemy for it to work, so aiming it is essential in dealing damage in lane. His W is Ardent Blaze. He shoots a missile that's in a star shape, and he gains movement speed for attacking marked enemies. So if he hits an enemy that's marked with this, it deals damage. It does damage north, south, east, and west of it. So you have to try and aim it if you're trying to deal a lot of damage with this. I'll give you a little quick video on it. So you see there, it only hits the 3 or 4 minions there.
This is mercy.
And you see he gets a little bit of an attack speed buff from that. Relentless Pursuit is a short distant dash, and when you use an auto attack after that, that has a light slinger passive on it, it reduces Relentless Pursuit's cooldown. Relentless Pursuit costs no mana, which is a very strong reason why Lucian is great in lane. You see here's just a quick little dash. You see here the culling is his ultimate. I honestly don't feel like this is the best part of Lucian's kit. I feel like everything else is a great part of Lucian's kit, but this scales with attack speed, and he unleashes just a bunch of shots. He can move when he shoots them, and he can also use Relentless Pursuit when he's using them. Even after use of this skill, you have a light slinger passive on. So you'll see here he fires out a lot of shots. So those are all of his skills. Next I want to go over quick runes and masteries with him. There are I'd say there are maybe 3 different rune sets you could do with him, but the one I'm going to show you this video is probably the best in my opinion. I like to run 5 attack damage marks and 4 attack speed marks. Then I run 9 armor seals for a little bit of defense in lane. It helps you take shots from their AD carry or their support, depending on who they have. And then I run flat magic resist because as an AD carry in this meta, it is all about laning, and you want to be able to stay in lane for as long as possible, trade hard with the other enemy, and try and stick around. Lastly, I run 1 attack damage quintessence and 2 attack speed quintessences. Overall, that will give you 16% attack speed, 7 physical damage, 9 armor, and 12 magic resist. That gives you plenty of trading power and plenty of defense to get traded with. As far as masteries, I run a pretty standard AD carry page. I run all 4 points into Fury for the 5% attack speed. Oh, don't know what happened there. I run all 4 points into Fury with attack speed, 3 points into Brute Force for 10 attack damage at level 18. I put 1 point into Expose Weakness because if you damage an enemy with a spell, your support will also be able to deal extra damage from that. With Spell Weaving, that is also a good spell to go into because you use a lot of spells as well as a lot of auto attacks with Lucian. So spell and blade weaving are always good. Pick up a martial mastery point, 3 points into executioner, 1 point into dangerous game, 2 points into Warlord, 3 points into Devastating Strikes, and 1 point into Havoc. That'll leave you 21 points into offense, and then I put 9 points into defense, again, just for a little bit more trading potential. 2 points into recovery for some health regen in lane. 2 points into block to reduce damage from basic attacks when you're getting traded with. Unyielding reduces incoming damage from melee and range. 3 points into Veteran Scars for some extra HP in lane, and Juggernaut for some more extra HP in lane. Next, we're going to transition into the game. We are going to be in a lane of Lucian Nami, which is an extremely strong, probably one of the strongest lanes in this meta, versus Vayne Thresh, which is a innately weaker lane due to Vayne's early game struggles. So we will transition into that very shortly here, and I'll give you guys a little bit of rundown on item builds and what to look forward to in lane. Alright, so we are in game here. The playback is set to about 1.3 times the normal speed of the game, just to get this over with as we talk here. I apologize for the choppiness in the beginning of the video, because I was having a little bit of issues with recording software. But as you'll see here, you start Q on Lucian. Your skill order max should always be, in my opinion, culling when possible, Q next, E third, and W last. W does bring you some damage, but E brings that mobility, and it's a free ability. So it's just, in general, a good skill to go into. Always start the normal build on Lucian, on any AD carry of a Doran's Blade, 1 health potion, and a yellow trinket. You should look to switch into a blue trinket towards late game so you don't face check. You're going to see me face check here actually, and I'm going to take quite a bit of damage from Nidalee. They end up chasing me. The thing is not to panic unless you know that you're going to be CC'd almost immediately and going to be jumped on in early game. So you see here Nami comes back and just gives me a few heals. The minions are about to hit the lane, and the thing we're going to try and do here is we're going to try and rush an early level 2. In bot lane, you want to try and get level 2 before the enemy bot lane. This gives you a lot of trading potential. It makes it so that you can almost immediately bring the lane into your advantage. So you see here, we're just going to be doing a lot of autoing. Try and pick up all the CS too. I mean, don't just auto and miss the CS. And so, like I said with Lucian's Q, Lightbringer, you want to try and aim it to try and hit the enemy. So you see here, we're getting a little zone from the Thresh in that right brush, but we end up getting up here in time. And you see here in the bottom left, we're about to hit level 2. It's going to be right after this creep. So we hit level 2, we have some good trading potential. So I get in onto the Thresh, I land a Q, auto, E, and I take a little bit of damage, but you see here, because of that Nami also hitting level 2, she was able to deal and give damage. So we ended up winning that trade very easily. They are both below half, we are both looking pretty good. So Nami's putting some good pressure. As a support, also, you want to try and put a lot of pressure. So you see here, I land another Q by just repositioning myself and landing it on Vayne. Miss a few CS here. You always want to try and get the cannon minion when possible. So we're just going to keep on applying a little bit of pressure. Vayne takes another Q. That is where a lot of Lucian's lane bullying comes in. It also comes in with this EQ combo that you're going to be seeing very shortly here. At level 3, I put in another point into Q. You see here she lands a great bubble. I E, he flashes away, she picks up the kill on an empowered auto. So you see here Vayne's going to stick around here, and she is going to make a bad mistake of just kind of overextending on the left side of the turret, where you don't have to worry about a lot of turret aggro just because it's right on the edge of it. So you see here, watch, she comes over right here, I land a nice EQ, E auto Q, and that was with Nami's empowered. So you see here I have about 1225 gold. You try and want to back on a BF sword when possible. You don't want to try and back beforehand. We both have pretty good mana. We're both full health. I still have my potion. She's putting some great pressure onto this Thresh. She ends up landing another bubble, and I pick up another kill. At this point, the lane is ours to lose. There's almost no way. There's almost no way you can lose once you're this far ahead. Vayne has taken a lot of poke. She's constantly just taking poke. As long as you CS well, and take advantage of any part in the lane, you'll be good. So you see here we have 1750 gold. Vayne came back with 4 health potions and a Doran's Blade. So she has 2 Doran's Blades, she has innately more health than me. So you want to make sure you get some damage and at least a couple consumables to try and stack up with her, even if you have a sustained port. If you have enough gold, you should always try and pick up a pink ward. Wards win solo queue games. They always win solo queue games. So if you have enough money for a pink ward, especially if you're blue side bot lane, getting one and popping it in the tri-brush is a great way to ensure yourself some nice ganks. So we're just going to CS here. The wave is in a very favorable position for us because it's kind of in our side, and they are in a dangerous position due to the fact that they are open to river ganks. You see Nami's going to go toss a ward down. You're seeing Ahri come down now. So you're going to see a little bit of pressure here. We force Vayne's flash as Ahri is coming down. So, as you see here, Ahri comes in. She picks up the nice easy kill on Vayne. And then she ends up leaving. But you see here, this is the perfect position to freeze a lane. As long as you keep more than 3 caster minions auto-attacking on your minions without getting touched, you are going to be able to freeze your lane. So, pretty much keep 3 attacking and just let your creeps die to them while only last hitting. This will cause a lot of your creeps to die. If you're doing it right, all of them will die. And you'll also be able to deny CS, deny XP, and last hit every creep safely. So you see here, the one thing you might have to do if you're trying to freeze is all your minions might die, and you have to tank the creeps in just long enough so that you don't bring them to the turret. So you see Thresh here is pressuring our pink ward, so we're going to put a little pressure on them just to try and get them to stop that so we can keep our advantage in sight. So we take that down, and they end up pushing them away. They don't try to go back for it because they are very far behind, and we would definitely be able to take them. So the lane is still frozen almost perfectly. You don't want it pushing too hard, like I said, because otherwise you're going to have to tank the minions. So try and just hit the minions you're supposed to. Take out a few of those casters if you need to. Leave 3 to 5. 3 to 5 is a good number. It'll deal a lot of damage. And you'll see this wave will come in. We saw Vayne heading up towards mid lane there in the minimap, and so we decided to push the lane. We're going to put a lot of damage on Thresh here. He took the wrong path around. We end up taking him. And I just used culling here because I hit 6 on Vayne's 4 to chunk her out of lane. And so now she's probably going back. We have a huge advantage. We are going to push this lane out. We have a lot of mana, full health. Try and get all the CS. Use that double auto. It is great interaction with minions. It'll attack the 2 lowest if you can auto attack both of them. So this isn't necessary, but I like to keep the bottom lane turret up as long as possible. If the bottom lane is not trying to pressure other lanes, you see here I take a little bit of damage. But due to my 3 health potions and my sustained support, things don't go too badly. We get a little bit of damage on Vayne. I land another Q, so she's taking a lot of damage. Excuse me. You know, as she steps back, just keep using some potions. I've already used 2. Getting some heals as well as harass. And so you see here, I still have that openness on my EQ combo. So I land that EQ, get some damage onto Thresh, and we couldn't quite get him, but we do chunk both of them out. So we just pretty much force them back again. We have an Udyr gank coming in, and as long as you're warding, you're going to be fine. Even if you're winning a lane, you should be having a lot of wards, like a lot more than you would if you were losing, in my opinion. Ward everywhere. So you see here, I get a little bit of damage on Vayne, almost guaranteeing a dive on her. We could dive them. And you see that they're invading the jungle up at the blue side. We've snowballed a pretty good advantage here in this game. So we're going to push this turret down now. Missing some CS here, but that's okay. We're going to get this down. And we have 2,200 gold. So we're heading up here just to see if our team needs any help. I'm going to max my E second for the mobility, and I'm going to try and push this lane out a little bit. You see Vayne comes, I'm a little bit afraid. I wasn't sure if Thresh or anyone else is going to be around, so I decided it's time to back out. At this point, It's a little late for a buy, but we were winning lanes so handily that I could postpone my buy to now. Otherwise, I would have definitely gone back and probably gotten um, another component to IE and probably some boots one, as well as potions and wards. Always pick up wards when you're back and you have enough time. Warding wins games in solo queue. So now that we have pressure in bot lane, we see that they're trying to freeze it. We're going to head up towards mid lane and try and apply some pressure past our lane. So we know that there are two people top the jungler in their top lane. We saw bot lane bot. We have a ward on their banana brush over there, and we see Vayne and Thresh coming. So this is where your wards come in handy. You see that they're coming. You go, I put it down. Vayne gets a little bit too antsy here. I get a calling out. I get hit. Thresh goes in on something that he shouldn't have. We get really good damage on him. I was afraid of the Riven stun, so I flashed it. You see Ari picks up those 2 kills as I heal and land a Lightbringer to pick up the other kill. So we just 3 for 0'd them. So now we're going to pick up this turret. We're not sure where Udyr is, but we're going to go check their blue buff, and we do end up finding him at the blue buff. So Ari lands a good charm, lands some spells. I end up picking up the blue buff. We are going to head back mid, push this wave out, and then I'm going to head bot lane and farm for a little bit. There's a big wave pushing. You want to keep your turrets up for as long as possible because that is global gold for the enemy team. We're not sure when Dragon's up, so I'm going to just pop a ward down there. I'm just going to push bot lane out. My pink ward is still alive. We see Vayne is mid lane, so I know I can push this out, and she'll have to come back if it hits their turret. You don't want to let free farm go to waste. So we pick this up. Their Nidalee is becoming a little bit of a problem, but with how much pressure we can supply from our bot lane, things are looking okay. So you see a little skirmish is breaking out here in mid lane. Vayne decides that it is a good idea to go on Nami, which is not necessarily a good idea. She didn't have any wards. So I come in. She ends up dodging my Q, but she pops her heal, and Nami lives. So here's another fight on Nidalee. I end up popping a culling and killing her there, and I get a nice shutdown for 500 gold. And right a minute after I put that ward down, Dragon has spawned. So we get another global objective for our team after getting 3 turrets and a dragon. So now we have a lot of gold, as well as 6 kills to go along with it. We are part of 10 of our 18 kills, which is good. If you're over half kill participation in a solo queue game, that is always good, especially as an AD carry. So generally I wouldn't do this build, but we are a little bit ahead. So I pick up a brutalizer and cooldown reduction boots, as well as 2 wards. With blue buff, that gives me 35% cooldown reduction, and that is a lot of cooldown reduction, especially for your E. It makes it so that pretty much you can E, auto, Q, auto, and then your E will be up again, especially if you use your W. Try to pick up the red buff here. I already had it, didn't realize. So we see Riven bot lane, and we realize that this is probably a very good time to push mid lane. So you see that they initiate a little fight, they get a flash, Vayne gets a flash, there's a flash on Vayne and Thresh out. So we just pressure this turret. We know it's 4v4 because Rumble's top and Riven is bottom. Get 1 pick there. And we head up to try and put a little bit of damage on this turret. We see that Rumble has pushed top. So I pop a ward just to make sure we're not going to get flanked. Ari's putting good pressure. Try not to do what I just did there and go on the right side of that turret. That is very dangerous, especially as an AD carry. Trying to always take the safer way around. So you see we're putting good pressure on this turret, and Jarvan is going to initiate a good fight here. So he lands a nice 2-man ulti. It allows us to get in there and me to land a double kill. We chase Nidalee probably a little further than we needed to, but we pick her up, and we get this inhibitor pretty easily. Once we pick up this inhibitor, another little fight breaks out here around their base after we get 1 Nexus turret. But at this point, your team should probably be safe and back out and try and buy. You don't want to end up throwing the game with this much of a lead, but it works out for us in the end. So we back away. You'll see that they chase us out of the base as Udyr tries to split push our base down. Rumble ends up teleporting down there to go stop it. I start going back, but you see that they are moving towards their middle lane. So Jarvan ended up picking up a quick kill on Vayne there. they are going hard onto this Nami. She ends up going down, but we end up picking up quite a few kills from it. I get greedy here with a flash and try and kill the Nidalee, but she ends up getting away. So I head back mid with Jarvan and Ahri, and we push down this middle turret and the inhibitor. We are very strong in our build right now. I feel like I should talk to you guys quickly about the standard Lucian build. Standard Lucian build goes something like Infinity Edge into Static Shiv with Lucidity Boots sprinkled in there somewhere whenever you want them, into a Bloodthirster or Last Whisper. Bloodthirster can come before or after Last Whisper depending on how much armor the enemy team has. If they have more armor, obviously you want to go Last Whisper beforehand. Then you should get a defensive item as your last item, or before either Last Whisper or Bloodthirster, whichever you decided on. The less standard Lucian build, but it's also pretty good, involves a Brutalizer into Infinity Edge into Yumu's Ghostblade with Lucidity Boots sprinkled in there somewhere too. That gives you a lot of cooldown reduction and a lot of burst with the active on Yumu's. So I want you to see here how quickly my E comes back up. You see it was on a 12-second cooldown, and I used it probably twice within less than 5 seconds. That passive is just great. So we burst Baron down here. But as I was saying about that other build, Brutalizer into Infinity Edge, Lucidity Boots into Bloodthirster, Last Whisper, and a defensive item. Whenever you feel like you need the defensive item, or whenever you feel like you need the Bloodthirster or Last Whisper, you should build it then. There's no specified order. So you see here we're up to 35% cooldown reduction again with boots, and we are pretty much good to go. So we just pick up this Nexus here and end the game pretty quickly. I end up finishing with a, I believe, an 11-0-6 score, legendary, and we finished the game. And so that is my Lucian guide. If you have any questions, feel free to post them as comments on the video. Like and subscribe. I'll try and have another video out within the next week or so. I've been playing a lot. This was a Platinum 4 North American solo queue game. Yeah, so just leave any questions you have, any recommendations, video requests. I play mostly every role, not all great, but yeah, if you have any recommendations, feel free to let me know. Thanks.